What kind of pointe shoes are you in?
Good question. I've been actually having a bit of a problem with my pointe shoes. I know everyone have like this phase of trying to find your perfect Cinderella pointe shoes. Since I moved to the States, I've been wearing Capicio. So I have a special order, and then I tried to change one little thing, and somehow that just changed the whole shape. And since then, 6 years, haven't been back or haven't been able to switch it to where I need to be. I have no shoes on my shoe rack.
No.
I always say, Yuriko, are you going to be able to get through this season or get through this performance because you don't have any shoes? Constantly, I'm in that cycle of that trials. And in between that, I have tried a few different other pointe shoes, but it's always difficult to switch. For me, I think because they all struggle to find the right size.
What size do you wear?
So my street shoe size is 8.5, and obviously I always write. They have me draw my feet, and they will send me the right shoes. But what happens is my feet are very gummy. They can shrink like 3 sizes.
I'm exactly the same way.
So whatever they see is not the size I usually wear. So for everyone to even figure out my shoe size takes like half a year. Width too. My feet, if you draw it, they're pretty wide, but they actually get narrow in shoes.
They shrink down. A lot of dancers who are in training, they always think like, when am I going to get the shoe that is perfect for me and I can just keep ordering? But I'm like, there's principal dancers that don't know what their perfect shoe is either. It's like a constant journey, and you keep having to refit, and you get pregnant and then your feet are completely different now. Like your feet shrink, you go through an injury. Like there's so many things that changes your feet and your body that it's always a constant journey. So you're currently in Capicio right now?
So the last performance I did was Sleeping Beauty before this COVID-19 happened, and I've been staying home. So during Sleeping Beauty, Sleeping Beauty is a big ballet for ballerina and really requires good shoes. So for Act 1 Sleeping Beauty Aurora, I wore 1 block on the right foot and 1 free on the left foot. And for Act 2, Awakening part of it in the variation, I wore 2 Capicio. So both Capicio. 3, the grand part of it, I wore 1 block and 1 Capicio.
Wow. I don't think I have ever seen this before.
I don't think my whole company dancers, they all know my story. And you can if you're close enough, you can see from the back of the shoe what kind of pointe shoes you're wearing. So they're all looking at the back of my foot. Oh no, she's wearing 2 different shoes. Or they're all talking.
That is amazing. When you held up your shoes, you cut out the shank.
I cut out pretty low.
You cut out almost the entire shank. It's like you only have this much in the bottom.
So when I first get my pointe, so I have a special order so this is a brand new pointe shoes from Capicio. They are based on the Tiffany's.
The Tiffany? So it's slightly tapered?
I've done quite a bit, so I can't really explain to you what I've done. Quite a lot of things. But this is how it comes in the beginning. So they're 3/4.
Wow.
But that's still too high and too hard for me. I like my shoes real soft, and so by the time I wear the shoes, I don't know if you can see, there is a nail on top.
Yes, right in the middle.
Yes, so I use my little tool to take the nail off and also peel off the papers. So by the time I wear the pointe shoes, it becomes.
Oh, I see. I
So
see.
it's about this much shank, I guess.
So you wear like a half shank. You wear like, or like maybe even like close. You're in between like a quarter and a half shank. You only have like this much shoe.
Whatever that covers the toes, this part, that's a little bit higher is what I have.
Amazing. Wow. So you do that with all of your shoes though. So I saw that with your block and your Capizio and your Freeze. You cut it down. You cut the shank out almost entirely except for that box part.
Yes.
You're almost dancing in the demi point shoe.
Yes. Free. This is the free. This block may be a little bit higher.
And then does that land right at the middle of your arch so it doesn't bother you? You don't have to tape it down or anything?
It's probably a little bit lower than where I bend, because if it is,
Okay.
it does hurt me. That's one reason why I peel it off a little bit lower.
Got it. So you make it a little bit smoother on the bottom, but you don't put anything on top of it. You don't put a sock liner or tape or anything.
I hate any of those things.
The Capizio is a custom based off the Tiffany.
Yes.
You get it maybe a quarter to a half shank, and then you shave it off even more.
Yes.
And how long do those last you?
When they do last long time, actually, I actually don't go through shoes very fast unless something's very wrong and the shoe died very strangely. If they fit right, I can wear for like the Sleeping Beauty, or I did a run of Giselle. I'll wear the same shoes for the whole run.
Wow, because most people need like three pairs for a single show.
So for that Sleeping Beauty run, I did the dress and the tech rehearsal and the 2 shows. I did have to change one of the balance foot just because they were a little bit dead. But other than that, I wear the same ones besides the fact I wear different shoe for every act, but that wasn't really my choice. I didn't have a choice since I didn't have shoes. I had to survive.
So you did a custom Capizio based off the Tiffany last. And what kind of block do you wear if you wear block?
I just recently started wearing block. So it was a big risk for me to wear block on one foot or shoe for both Giselle and Sleeping Beauty. They're quieter than Capizio, I find. And they are, when I first switched to block, I definitely found the block the name block, blocky, like boxy. Yeah. I tried to ask them to shave it off as much as I wanted somehow. The Capizio, I do find the Capizio a little bit loud, but they're very light.
They're very light shoes, yes.
So I had trouble with changing it to block just because I felt very clunky.
Yes. Can you hold up a Capizio and a block for me? So they're both custom shoes. And what kind of Freeds do you wear? Do you always get the same one?
I have actually never ordered a Freed. It's usually
Are they your friends?
No, I wish that I can just wear them now. Well, the waiting time for the Freed is, as you know, it's super long. Depending on the makers, it could be from 1 year to 2 years. Mm-hmm. I was shoe shopping at Houston shoe room, and I was trying. I definitely took anything that physically fit my feet. They happen to have this Q maker 5.5 V double X. So they just happen to have 3 pairs of that. So I took that, and I also wear 2 different sizes. My feet are also complicated. That's probably why I can't find the right shoes. But it would only fit my left foot, but it wouldn't fit my right foot because they were a bit too small. That's why I wore this one on the left side for my Sleeping Beauty.
So you wore 2 different types of pointe shoes on your left and your right shoe. because of the sizing problem?
Because I didn't have a shoes.
Oh my gosh, struggle bus. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I've literally never heard that before. That's
I don't
insane.
think anyone have ever done that before.
Okay, so
I'm surprised I made it through. It's been a struggle for the past few years, but I had reserve that I kept. But this right before this COVID, the Sleeping Beauty I had was definitely I had to really think, okay, how am I going to get through these performances?
okay, so this is interesting. So you like your shoes super lightweight. You like them very quiet and very minimal. So little fabric, very little shank. And then it lasts for a pretty long time. Like this is a very minimal shoe. You're like barely there shoes.
I do like my shoes very soft.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so you only wear your pointe shoes like the bottom is the only thing that really keeps you like up.